Mm.
Hey friends, we're back. And we've got lots of books. And the ones I have are ones that we got from Ollie's and flea markets and stuff before, around, and right after Christmas. So that's what I'm going to be showing. And I guess you had to go into the attic to put the tree up, maybe.
Yeah, this has been a while ago.
And so Troy found some books that were things that he read as a kid. So that's what he's going to show. But first,
these are how I learned to read. I probably still wouldn't read if it weren't for these books.
We're going to show this book. It's called A Book of Curiosities that one of our kids is reading, and he's just really enjoying it. And so he wanted us to share it with you. And it's got tons of just different questions that people may ask. And I guess the author, she either answers, Roberta Kramer, she answers them or has an answer to them. Why do we have lines on our hands? Are there really diamonds in the sky? Mm-hmm. But he's really enjoyed this very much. Mm-hmm. So first, I was looking for the other Bolian girl because, if you've watched some other videos, I've been kind of obsessed with Philippa Gregory. And so I got this, and it ended up being like 25 or 50 cents. And I was like, I'm not sure if I have it. I already had it. But it's a really good copy. So I'll just keep whichever one is in the best shape, or I like the cover best because covers matter a lot to me.
Live action, you like that? I hate picture covers.
Yeah.
She's pretty, but
I can't really tell if that's supposed to be Natalie Portman or not, and I'd rather not have one like movie cover.
I think that is Natalie Portman.
I can't really tell. I can't remember if her eyebrows are like maybe thicker than that. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just have to look and see what the other one is.
This is another photo cover. I hate these.
Yes.
I don't care who it is. I hate it.
Yeah.
This is a Western with a Bigfoot in it. And this is the cover.
That's
Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know we had a Stop Sticking campaign. I'm starting a hashtag Stop Picking. Stop taking pics for your covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The writer has a lot of creativity and works hard,
Yeah.
For you to take a photo and then be like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then I've wanted to read this because, I watched programs where they've talked about, when people had portraits done, it would be a way to show, their wealth and status, or, there was a lot more going into just painting a picture of someone. There was a lot they were trying to convey and communicate. So, girl with the pearl earring. Yeah, that's terrible glare. There you go. And this one I picked up purely because it says author of Silver Pigs. And I'm like, that's a great title. I bet that must be a great book because I just think that's a fantastic title. But this is Shadows in Bronze by Lindsay Davis. And basically it's kind of like like pulp detective, but it takes place in the 1st century. So I thought it sounded good. This is The Unseen by Anna Mazzola. And basically this woman's been accused of a murder, and she says she's innocent, but she won't really explain why. And I found this little children's book that I thought was just precious. Tilly's Moonlight Garden by Julia Green. And this girl, Tilly, moves to a new house, and she sees this fox. And one day she just decides to follow the fox. So this is a story of an unforgettable time in one girl's life and how a new home, a secret garden, and a little fox can change someone in the most unexpected ways. But I just thought it was so cute. The Melancholy Life of Annie Astor. And basically these two women somehow are able
I'm going to find a quieter chair.
send letters through a mailbox back and forth, and they've got to figure out, how this is happening and how their two time periods are, coming together, because one of them is going to be accused of murder. But I thought it sounded, at first I was like, oh, that sounds kind of lame. I don't know. But then I decided that it sounded good. So, really interested in reading this. Iris Anthony, The Ruins of Lace. And this takes place in the 1800s, I thought. Anyway, everybody in France is mad for Flemish lace, and one woman, it could be her destruction if she can't, provide a certain amount of it. And then there's another woman, this could be, the thing that like just changes her life because she makes lace.
That's a good cover.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm in a big obsession with covers right now. I'm reading the Paperbacks from Hell, and I'm focused in on that.
Yeah. And then Shakespeare's Rebel by C.C. Humphreys. And basically, you've got the finest swordman and fight choreographer for the Globe Theater, John Lawley. He's wanting to win back his beloved, become a decent father to his son, and help his friend William Shakespeare to finish the tragedy of Hamlet.
This is why I can't be in these videos, because I can't stay focused. I'm sorry. My mom painted that.
Yeah.
Let's see if y'all can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
fantastic.
Nadine.
Yeah. Really proud of that.
Yeah.
And it goes good like wherever we put it in our house.
Yep. We're going for a old retired sea captain in here. So yeah. That's why Jody made me take down the Godzilla. It's in the garage.
Yeah. But yeah, this takes place during the time of Shakespeare and Queen Elizabeth. So I was like, yeah, that's, I love anything from that time period.
All right.
Your turn.
Ready? We've done this video probably 6 times, not today, but since I've found these books. And we've either screwed it up, Jody said something racist, something happened every time.
Don't say anything racist.
Something happened every time or we didn't post it. But let's see. These were the books that I learned how to read with. My mom was having a hard time teaching me. She recently brought me a bunch of my old schoolwork where all the D's are backwards. All the B's were backwards. Somehow, no matter which one I was writing, I would do it wrong. And I think there was some dyslexia. There's some, all this, anything you could have, I think I had it. But I could focus on something I was interested in. And they discovered that this was what I was interested in. So it went from, they were giving me the Dick and Jane books and all that kind of stuff to where they were just started bringing me these just, this has monsters in it, and I would, oh, okay. And I didn't know I was learning, but I did. But I know this one, I think, I don't know how old this is. Yeah, this is 1985. So this would be around kindergarten time. I wasn't reading this at kindergarten, but it was probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
Yeah, back in our time, we didn't start to read until 1st grade.
Yeah, so. I was still just writing B's wrong. But I'm going back, and these are all probably where I started a fascination with covers, because I would, if they say great. Don't judge a book by its cover, I do that.
Oh, I can't help it. There'll be books that I want to get them, even if I can read the back and I'm like, oh, that sounds terrible. But if the cover is really good, I'm like, I just want it because of the cover. Beautiful.
Yep. And it's never a picture of a dude with a cowboy hat on. I promise you. All right, here we go. Great ghost stories. Somebody wrote Harrison. That might have been my teacher. Great ghost stories right there.
I hate there's going to be a glare because these covers are really great.
I think you see that pretty good. All right.
I love this one.
Chilling ghost stories.
This one's really like blue, purple. I love that.
And there's a theme. It's funny because a lot of the books I'm going to show today they're still like this. This isn't the only book with a death coach I'm going to show. All right. These are one of my favorites. This is when we're getting really serious right now. Scary stories to tell in the dark.
That looks like on the Weird Tales, those old, like the big size comics, the witch character on that. That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. I hope y'all can see that. All right. This one was the one that I got. I bought both of these at the same time. And I had a super holy roller teacher. And she was like, oh, I don't. I just don't. And my mom sent a letter that was like, no, he can get them. You know. So I was young.
Yeah, she's not paying for them.
Yeah.
Worry about yourself.
See there? Yeah. Mind your business. Look at that. Love it. This one has a Bigfoot in it. You'll also notice there's a theme. All right. Now we're getting into the guy that you could just about say. I'm guessing it's one guy. I don't know. It might have been a lot of people writing under this name because there was a lot of books. Every time there was a book fair at my school, there'd be tons of them, and I would get as many as I could. But I've only got 2 left, so there might be some somewhere else in the attic. But let's see. I want to show first. This one was a landmark in my life. I read this all through high school still. Southern Fried Rat and Other Gruesome Tales. And it was about exactly the things in there. People found rats in Cokes. People find rats in fried chicken. I think, if I remember right,
it's got pictures.
It's got pictures. And now this is a children's book. All right. Yeah, Oven Ready is the name of this. Oven Ready. And it's got this picture here. And this is about that old legend of the babysitter that's high. And the mom and dad call to check on the baby. And she says, oh, the baby's fine. And the ham is almost ready. And the mom's like, I don't have a ham. And they go home and the babysitter had cooked the baby.
And that's a kid's book.
Yeah. I wonder if these are still in the book fairs. 1983. But yeah. See?
That's wild.
And it's got the hook, everybody, the old urban legend of the hook. This guy's ciphering gas. But siphoning gas. Ciphering. He's decoding it.
Yeah.
But he's siphoning gas. And he's actually in the toilet. Yeah, he's actually in the waste compartment, whatever that's called. Leave it in the comments below.
Yuck.
Yeah. What else? Drugs. Out of the grave. This is beautiful. Honestly, if you can find this today, these stories are still good.
But I feel like, like a kid that does have, problems paying attention, this book would kind of keep them there because every now and then there's going to be a picture to kind of break up.
Yeah. And they're short and they're quick. They're like Tales from the Crypt. They're urban legends, there's a lot of people that could read that book and they'd be like, oh, I heard about a friend of mine. This is who it happened to, that's always out there. All right. Now this is what, when I was a kid, this book I had decided was going to be my career. We also found a file folder I had from when I was little with all of these things in it and where I was tracking all the different histories and lores of these monsters and where to find them and UFO stuff. And that was this book, Real Ghost, with Daniel Cohen, or by Daniel Cohen. I also had a werewolf book by him, but I don't know where it is.
That's great though, because I'm sure your mom was like, you're reading and you were writing stuff down, so it was 2 really good things for you to be doing.
At that time, I remember my dad taking me to the bookstore, and I'd go straight for this kind of stuff, and he'd say, "Let's get something happy. Let's find something, not like that." And I'd be like, I just won't get anything then. So they would eventually, cave in and be like, fine. And it'd be like Mummy's Death Curse, But this is, and I don't know how to say this. You try it.
The Brown Lady of Raynham.
I bet that's not, Zoe's probably laughing.
Raynham. Raynham?
I was thinking about this, and this is in Britain, I believe. But the Brown Lady. But if this was in our neck of the woods, we'd probably say rhinum. That's how we would say it. But I know that's not right because you know how you say Uriah. Down here we say Uriah. Yeah, that's Uriah.
Yeah, if you see it, it's spelled Uriah.
Yeah,
and we say Uriah.
So I'm thinking, and we wouldn't call it hall because there are no halls. We'd call that the Rhinum House. That's what that would be.
Or place.
So the brown lady of Rhinum House, and you'd say, because I can picture my pawpaw, he'd talk about a haint. You know, if you got a ghost in your house, you got a haint. So he'd say, there's a haint over there in the Rhinum House. You know, I don't care how big the house is, it's a house. So I don't think anybody even says mansion, do they? They'll just say that's a big house.
Yeah.
They got a big place. That's probably what would.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Also, like, I try not to go crazy because a lot of these places, you know, they had a ton of stuff, and like in the previous video, we talked about the wrestling magazines, you know, and then they were like half off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we found a whole section of a ton of Agatha Christie books. And so I limited myself to like a certain number, and we got up there, they were like half off.
Yeah.
But I didn't go back.
We were too lazy.
I didn't go back and get any more, you know. And of course, you know, I pretty well picked them because of the pretty page colors. This one is not Agatha Christie, but I got it because of the title. Because when you first read it, it just seems dumb. But it's a Claire Malloy mystery: The Murder at the Mimosa Inn, by Joan Hess. But basically, a group of people go to the Mimosa Inn to do one of those murder mystery weekends, but somebody actually gets murdered. So it's the murder at the murder of the Mimosa Inn.
Murder squared.
Yeah, so that's why I got it. After I read the back, I was like, oh, I want to read that.
Look at this cover.
This is amazing. Agatha Christie, writing under the name Mary Westmacott, Giant's Bread. And it's just a beautiful cover.
Little Dale, beautiful. Yeah.
I
wonder if this will help.
And then Agatha Christie, The Clocks. And I got this one because it's in really, really good shape. It doesn't look like the spine's ever been broken.
This is not working.
And it's a pretty good cover. I like it. This one, the cover is so awesome to me. Agatha Christie, Murder After Hours, originally titled The Hollow.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's very colorful. It's not really coming across that well on this camera, but it's really colorful. I really like it. Another one that's really colorful, The Mysterious Mr. Quinn. And I was just like, I'm sure that like all the stuff on the cover, like, you know, will come into play when you're reading the book, but it's just such an odd conglomeration of things that it's really interesting to me. Peacock feather, a bust with a rainbow on it, and a bird.
How's that? Try that. Show something.
Yeah, I think that's a little better. Yeah, there we go.
Maybe this one and that one off.
And the last one, and this one's got some sticker damage from some loser.
Stop sticking.
But it's got a bunch of interesting things.
The coolest covers always have the stickers in the stupidest places.
But Dead Man's Mirror.
Is that it? Cool that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, see the big white thing.
And it's like stickers become part of it.
Yeah,
you know.
And this is another one where somebody put a sticker on it, and
we didn't even worry.
And I got this one mainly because I really liked the cover. It's really dark and just weird looking. But Marion Zimmer Bradley, a novel in the classic Darkover series, The World Wreckers. I just thought this was so cool. I love these old books. Just kind of trying to refresh like my memory is this is like a organization that they come and take over planets. So I just think it sounded really cool. So, and then we were lucky enough, we found a Goosebumps book that was it's in pretty good shape. It's got a little damage down here.
Our family loves Goosebumps.
How I Learned to Fly.
Our oldest kid's in college. She'll still gets excited when we bring Goosebumps home.
Yeah, so we look for them every time we go to any of the flea markets or used bookstores because every now and then we just get super lucky.
Yeah. Want to do my birthday books?
Yeah.
Okay. I got some good stuff. I got a gift card and some money because nobody knows what I have and what I don't have, and everybody knows that that's what I'm going to get. So everybody just kind of hooks me up with that stuff. But let's see. The first one, I have read Jack Ketchum's Off Season, and I read Offspring, and I loved both of them. They were both extremely violent. You know, there's parts that I was just like, oh, man, I can't handle it. But the stories were so good. The second one is about an old grizzled vet police officer, and anytime you put an old grizzled vet coming out of retirement and going to go do it one more time, you know, I'm always in for that. Geezer noir, I'm in for it. Anything like that. And it was a horror story, but it was also no supernatural element to it, you know. So I'm loving Jack Ketchum. So I picked up Red. It's about a guy that gets his dog killed when he's out fishing and his response to that. So it's another old dude, you know.
All he's got is that dog.
Yeah, all he's got is that dog, and some teens, some youths kill him. So hooligans, yeah.
Hoodlums.
Yeah, hoodlums. This one I've shown already. And then I looked today at the bookstore, and whoever this dude is has posed in 1,000 different positions, and he is now on the cover of every William W. Johnson book. Same dude, just different poses. It's like, really, man. This is one I told you about. This is a Western that they go out into the wild and they run across a savage Bigfoot.
Yeah, like
furious
Bigfoot. Like somebody who knows, is it just like so much cheaper to just take a picture of someone and put that on a cover as opposed to someone actually doing artwork?
I'm assuming that the artwork like has a expiration date that they can use it for or something. Because I showed that because there's a book that I got, Better World Books USA has come through for me in a huge way. Normally, this is what happens to me. I order online. I see a cover that I love. I order it. And, you know, I always look and it says, you know, this may not be the cover. And it's never the cover I want. That's been my history. Or it'll be the cover I want, but it'll be absolutely destroyed with stickers. So Better World Books USA on eBay has actually come through for me on like a bunch of these. I'll tell you which ones. They're all in excellent condition. None of them have a single sticker on it, and they were all the cover that it was showing. It does say down there, this may not be the cover, but in my case, it was the cover. So I got lucky. But anyway, this is where we were at, you know. So there's our stunning photo cover, you know. And look at this Death Tour. Look at that, man.
Wow.
That's beautiful. Better World Books. Not a mark on it. It's in excellent condition. I've wanted this book for a long time, and it was in Paperbacks from Hell, so that made the price shoot up. And I was like, well, screw that. And now it's dropped back down again. So I got my
the Paperbacks from Hell. I don't know why I didn't realize that it's just as much like a history of how horror books, you know, first started getting printed, you know, and all of that. So
I've been reading it, and I'll stop constantly, and I'm like, Jody, listen to this, and I'll read it to her. I'm going to be sad when that book's over. I'm looking forward to that. Grady Hendrix wrote that. But every time I've ever looked, this is one of the books, I think I've got another one in here, that constantly shows up everywhere. It, you know, watching Paperback Mania, just what's the other kid's name? Cameron Chaney. You know, I found a couple of other books, book presenters that Cameron Chaney mentioned last week, and all of them at some point this book comes up. So I had to pick it up. Splatterpunk, If you look up splatterpunk, anything with punk in it, I'm going to check it out. Splatterpunk, cyberpunk. Yeah.
And who wrote that?
It's Skip and Spector, John Skip and Craig Spector. There's a cool story behind this. I've listened to it multiple times on an old podcast, but I don't remember what the name of it was. But it's good. You should check it out. Doomstalker, Gary Bradner.
That's scary.
Beautiful condition. This one was also a Better World book. Not a sticker on it. The exact cover I wanted. Gary Brandner. I don't know how to say that, but there's a demon at the end of this book. But he wrote the Howling. I read all the Howlings and enjoyed them. Okay, here's some devastation. I've wanted this book for a long time too, and I finally came through with it. And this is not a Better World book. And this is a Stop Sticking times 1,000. I might even post it on Twitter about this. But the name of this book, I'm going to show you the back. Death Coach. See? Death Coach, J.N. Williamson. I don't mind spines being messed up. Okay.
Look how devastating.
They put the sticker on the Death Coach. Look at that. I can see it here, but look
but
how
it's just
cool
on a
it would
white
be.
background. That's where you want to see it.
It didn't just come off. It's like I put tape on it because like all this is flaking off. Like apparently this was the foundation of the cover. So when it came off, the whole cover started to come apart. They put the sticker on the cornerstone of the cover.
Yeah, it must have like whatever was in the adhesives, like corrosive or something.
No, it's devastating. This one I picked up. Robert McCammon books are expensive generally. So this one, it said it was a former library book. So I don't mind it. And it's got this sweet, thick tape on the back. So it's like you could just about take this book anywhere, I feel like. But Ball, I think this was his first published work.
Oh, cool.
And I know novel, maybe. I don't know about short stories and stuff.
I kind of like getting old library books because I like seeing the little inserts that they put in the front, and especially if they have like the old little pockets, where you put the cards in. I kind of like that.
This one's from Miami, Arizona. So
there's a Miami.
There's a shout out. Okay, now we're getting into some really cool stuff. These were all Better World books, I believe. Yeah, all of them. One of them didn't have the cover that I wanted, but I'm not devastated because the book is in such good condition. But this one is from Sphere Berserker. I don't know what that's about. I didn't even read. It actually recommended after I bought one of these other books, probably Death Tour. But I bought some of those, and then it said other books you may be interested in. And I was like, yep.
Yeah,
and it just said good condition. It didn't even say very good. And this book is in great condition. As far as I'm concerned, I have low standards.
It's a werebear.
It looks like a what are they called? They have
like a wolverine.
They got blue butts.
A baboon.
I think it looks like a baboon. What do y'all think? Tell us in the comments below. Save the best for last. We're getting good. We're getting down to the... It's a berserker.
Yeah, it doesn't say like...
You think it's a bear?
I like the thought of a bear more than a baboon because it looks like really cold. Baboons aren't like in really cold places, or are they?
I have no idea. I haven't studied up on my baboons. Okay, this one is the one that's the cover that I did. It's Snowman, but it's in perfect condition. It has one little spine crease, but this book is in great condition. And there's another cover where it says Snowman up here, and there's like a Sasquatch creature right here screaming, where this one just has a big footprint. You know what they say about big feet? Big shoes. What were y'all thinking?
Tiny hands.
Tiny hands? Big feet, tiny hands. All right, here's another one. This book is brand new.
That's just a joke. Like my kids be like, how funny would it be, Bigfoot, but he had tiny hands. Sorry.
Golgotha Falls. I bought that purely because of the cover, but then I've read what it's about, and it looks beautiful. It's a brand new. Basically, if I show you one of these and it's in ridiculous condition, it came from that Better World Books USA.
I love like any book where it has like any kind of raised lettering or picture on it. I just love that.
This is beautiful to me. This is about a priest. This is about a church that's basically cursed, and like one priest goes insane. It kind of made me think of like H.P. Lovecraft story. One priest goes insane, and I think he does something horrible. It doesn't say, and then another priest comes in there, and he kind of goes berserk, and they're trying to figure out. They figure out the church is actually cursed. And they send in like, super priests to come in there and try to sort it out. So I'm not sure when this came out, but I'm sure it came out around the same time as The Exorcist and all that. This is 1984. So, and now here it is. This is my grand finale. This is a book I have wanted for years and years and years. Never seen it in person. I've only seen it online, but when I have seen it online, it'd be like $80. And I was like, no way. So it's not my holy grail. My holy grail is the Zebra Abigail. And I can't even remember who wrote it, but the Zebra Abigail is always crazy expensive, but I think it's the first zebra horror put out. So it will probably always be expensive, but I would love to find it one day. But second place, and a very close second place, was always this one. The Deadly Nature. And this book is brand new condition. There's a small spine crease you can see there. But look at that, not a sticker anywhere. This book has never been sticked. But look at that. I love horror. I love nature horror. I love when it's a creature. I love when it's anything in the woods. That's why I liked the Offspring, Jack Ketchum stuff so much. It takes place in Maine. But yeah, that's a beautiful cover to me. And this mutants, it talks about mutant everything in this. Two-headed snake and a monarch butterfly with double the set of wings. So that could be a double bear there. I don't know. But that's my birthday stuff. My sister and mom and dad and Jody, I have to thank all of them for that because they really hooked me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What keep else? Going? Yeah. Well, how much time? What's our time?
We're at about 33 minutes. That's not too bad.
You want to split it up or?
Mm-hmm. What do y'all think?
Yeah, we looked at them, didn't we?
Yeah. Let's just keep going.
Okay, go ahead.
So Troy's birthday was last month, and my birthday is next week, and our anniversary is tomorrow.
Yeah. We're going to go to Outback, get a bloomin' onion.
Troy got me this really cool Pantera shirt. Yeah, 18 years.
18 years.
More good than bad.
Mm-hmm. How old? I was 20. I was 21. You were 19.
You were 21, but I was still 18.
Ooh. How about that?
Yeah.
Saucy.
Yeah. Very young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't regret it, though.
Mm-hmm.
So
get them when they're young and impressionable.
But Troy asked me what I wanted to do, like for our anniversary and everything. And really, I just wanted to be able to just spend some time with him because I just have fun with Troy. And my favorite thing for us to do is go and look for books. And we hadn't been to trading books in a long time. Yeah. And so that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we found some really awesome stuff. I didn't find anything that I was looking for, but I did find some stuff. And Troy hit the jackpot today. He found a lot of really great stuff.
Yeah. It was her birthday, but The gods are smiling on me.
But it's also our anniversary. And, you know, if Troy finds stuff that he's looking for, that makes me happy too. So it's totally fine. But I was really pumped about...
I'm devastated if I don't find anything.
We found some Goosebumps. This one has a sneaker on it. Return of the Mummy. And they're all in pretty good shape.
There'll be stickers on them there, but it's like she uses a very mild, sticky thing. Like if you some of the stickers, when you go through the store, you'll find the stickers on the ground because it's like, those aren't her stickers. Those are from like a yard sale.
But I think they're going to come off pretty cleanly. And The Haunted School. And amazingly, I think our kids will be into reading this one with us, and I'm really excited about it. But it's like a choose your own adventure, but it's, how did he say it? Choose your own scare?
Choose your scare. Choose the scare.
Reader beware. You choose the scare.
Very R.L. Stein sentence right there.
Yeah. This is number 8, The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. I didn't even look to see what it was about. I just saw it's a Goosebumps.
I've always liked Goosebumps. That always goes along with what I was into as a kid. I think those came out like in 92. Yeah, so I was still young.
I was still a scaredy cat, so I didn't even watch those.
After following R.L. Stein on Twitter, though, I think I love him more than ever. He's something special. He's a special guy. He's kind of like a Stan Lee to me now.
Yeah. And I got this. It's a William W. Johnstone. It's not just a actual like picture of a person. And Troy's
pretty horrible.
He showed it to me.
I showed it to her because I thought it was so stupid looking. And she was like, "Ooh, that looks good."
I didn't think it looked good, but I was interested when I saw the cover because I was thinking, "Ooh, it looks like a patriotic kind of thing because it's a Rambo looking guy and an eagle." So, I mean, it's like, but it is a zebra book. It's called Terror in the Ashes.
Yeah, she told me it was a zebra, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool then.
From the ashes of nuclear oblivion, one man's bold dream of freedom reborn. But basically, these guys are going to take back America and all these different places from terrorists. I want to read about that, about people being, proud of freedom and wanting to take it back. So I'm excited to read it. And they're, and like some of the people that they're going to be fighting are mutant night people. So I need to read it and find out exactly what is a mutant night person.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And I thought it was going to be just like, I don't know what I thought it was going to be, like militia stuff. But it turns out there's some like mutants and there's creatures, and it's not just terrorists have taken over the world. It sounds like it's more like a nuclear post-apocalyptic thing. So that I was like, oh, okay. And it's a zebra. People hate on zebra, but I love zebra.
Yeah, and I like William W. Johnstone. He's wrote some books that are like some of my favorite reads.
The Mountain
ever.
Man.
Yeah. And didn't he write the Last of the Breed?
No, that was Louis L'Amour.
Oh, I love that book.
Yeah.
And I always find like a weird book. Troy actually spotted this and wanted to show it to me. And
I was trying to find something for her, and I was like,
I'm getting this. And it has a sticker on it too. But this one is weird. The Dolphins of Altair by Margaret St. Clair. Yeah. And basically, a long time ago, dolphins and land people had like an alliance, they were allies and whatever, and then humans, blah blah blah, and we started being bad and killing them, like we do with everything. But now dolphins are looking for a new ally so that they can maybe cause to execute the destruction of the whole human race. So this is a book about some pissed off dolphins that want to kill humans.
Watch out now.
And it's got cool colored pages.
Colored pages.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I like lots of things that are like greens and blues. Like all those Agatha Christie's, I got all the ones that had like the bluish green pages. Yeah. Because I think they had other colors.
Yeah, they did. They had some picture covers.
Yeah, that's just what I like.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. These are just dad fiction things, but I love them. James Rollins, Bloodline. I'm reading through this series now. I'll do some reviews one day, but I'm on the 3rd book now. And Clive Cussler, Vixen 03.
Or Miami Dolphins book.
Yeah, these are, it's like I love the old pulps, and this is kind of like, they'd probably be offended, but it's kind of like modern pulps. You know what I mean? They're thicker, and they've got more research, and they have they still have the guy that just can't lose. They've got the undefeated good guy, you know, but a few things will happen to him, you know. All the women love him, you know. It's all the things that you love in the old pulp series. And I think, shoot, I don't know how many Dirk Pitt books there are, but you know, it's a serial, you know, whether they want to look at it that way or not, which they might embrace it. I've never looked into it, but you've got Dirk Pitt and you got Painter Crow and the James Rollins, and they're just, you know, they're the continuation of just all those old characters from the past. I'm trying to think
Raymond
of a guy's
Chandler?
name.
Raymond Chandler? No.
Yeah, Raymond Chandler's guy. What's his name?
Oh, I just
Going.
blank.
Yeah. Sorry, BookTube.
Sorry.
But what's the bronze guy? Shoot.
We don't remember anything.
Yeah, we've got a lot going through our heads right now. I've got his book up there. It's the werewolf thing. Oh well, we don't edit, so we're gonna leave that in here. If I think of it later, I'll say it. But
I liked this one. I thought this one looked really cool.
Really, Jody picked this out, but
well, the back of it just seems awesome. You have all these different monsters and stuff that are coming together, and it tells you like who's going to come against them, basically, and it's a gangster, you know. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be wild and a fun read. You know that you've got Frankenstein, you've got Dracula, you've got werewolves, and they're gonna get what's coming to them by a gangster. You know.
It says on the back, Berkeley novel movie tie-in. It came out in 2000.
Oh, weird.
So I don't know of any movie it tied into. I know they were doing like a dark universe. I don't know.
The Devil's Blood by who? I'm sorry, The Devil's Brood.
Brood. Yeah.
David Jacobs.
Fear is Universal.
And I love
Universal
the cover.
Studios.
Love the cover. It kind of makes me think of the Monster Squad.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. My dream is to see
except instead of kids, it's going to be gangsters. It's going to be like Al Capone or Don Corleone.
My dream is to see a Monster Squad movie, but with the modern day monsters like Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and Pinhead.
Who would be the unexpected nice one? Because
Jason Voorhees. He's never hurt a kid in any movie, you know. So I feel like when the Monster Squad finds him in the swamp behind their house, he would be nice to them. Mm. I wouldn't have him talk though, but then the other ones can just be evil.
Yeah, it could be that
Pinhead takes a part of Dracula, you know.
But that's a good idea.
Stories go in places.
Maybe
folks.
You shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yep, take it. I want to see it. Go make it. All right, The Lake. Purely a cover by. I don't know anything about any of this. It's BMI, but it's nature. It's a horror story. You know, there's a creature on the cover. It was in good shape.
Big scary creature.
Yeah.
And I love the cover of this one. I just love it.
And this one, Ruby Jean Jensen. Her name is constantly. I've never really heard of this book, but like that other book I was talking about earlier, The Light at the End, her name constantly shows up everywhere. And when I took this up front, the lady behind the cash register was actually talking about she used to read these back in the day and that she really liked them.
I think she said that she used to have a ton of them and she still has some.
But they're selling out. This was the only one there that day. And it's got a tree on it. And I read the first paragraph. Dawn, 1865, as Civil War rages across the land, an 11-year-old boy awakens to the sound of thunderous drum beats. 4 days later, his mother is dead, and a strange cult of religious wanderers have been brutally murdered by the terrified local farmers. That night, the boy watches the only survivor, a solemn young girl, plant a sycamore tree over the graves. 1995, a monstrous bulldozer destroy the tranquil farmland and the old sycamore tree. In the darkness, ancient forces glow with soulless light as an unspeakable evil arises. As long as the tree lives, the dead stay buried. So that's the first book I grabbed, and I was like, that one's coming home today. We had a whole big basket, and I put 4 or 5 back, but they were James Rollins and Clive Cussler, and it was because I found those other ones.
I think it's going to be good, but I would want it still just because of the cover.
Yeah.
I love like trees and stuff.
You talk. I'm going to go find out those names that we couldn't think of.
Okay. Troy and the kids had a little party for me today, so I got a few things. I got this super cute little notebook. It's got unicorns on it, and it has a ribbon in it and everything, so that's going to go in my purse. Still Moments in the Presence of God, Reflections on His Promises, always good. And this was only $2.99, but it's like super nice. Like it's all color pages in there, you know. So and it's all like really short little things. So if I'm feeling super rushed, you know, but I need a little goodness, you know, first thing in the morning to put my day off on a good start, you know, they're really short. When Christ Appears by Dr. David Jeremiah, and this is an inspirational experience through Revelation, and that is the book of Revelation, which is good. I'm excited to read this because if you read the Bible and you've read Revelation, it's kind of confusing to me. I don't think I have the best reading comprehension sometimes. And it's very apocalyptic and kind of scary. So I'm looking forward to reading that, maybe learning something. This is a running joke in our house because I always make it a point not to buy these books. But because Troy bought it for me, I will read it. But I know tons of people, female family members, who love these books. But, you know, it's just not what I'm into. But I'll read it just because he bought it. Amish Cooking Class, The Blessing by Wanda E. Brunstetter. And it's about all these different people, men and women from different places that come together in a cooking class where more than recipes are exchanged. So I'll read it. This, I think I was most excited about, and it is Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. And look how awesome the cover is. I'm really excited to read this. The back is really cool. And it starts off with black and white comics, and then it goes to some colors, and then back to black and white, and then more colors. And there's a second set of black and white color. But I love the most recent ones. I really love how the art looks in these. And I'm thinking you can't tell when I'm looking, you know, how this looks, but it almost looks like it's done with chalks. But I just love how it looks. So, yeah, this I'm really excited about this because I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and it might just be because of Chris Pratt, and he's so funny, and Batista like steals the movies for me. But
Philip Marlowe and Doc Savage. Those were the names I couldn't think of. I wanted to say Captain Bronze. Yeah, but anyways. Here's the Paperbacks from Hell. I know everybody's seen it.
But I think even if you're not interested in horror books, you know, if you like historical kind of things, you'd probably enjoy that. You know, if you enjoy like awesome looking book covers, then you would get enjoyment out of reading it.
And one last fun thing that we picked up. Are you done?
Yes.
One last fun thing we picked up. I saw this on Paperback Mania, and we both were like, get them. But bookmarks from Dust Jacket Studios. I got these on Etsy. So there's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's what I'm using in my Paperbacks from Hell right now. I'm reading another Clive Cussler book, but I'm also reading that. But I'm kind of tearing through Paperbacks from Hell right now. Let's see. There is a Critter, Friday the 13th. What was these called? Shoot, I can't remember nothing. I watched this movie a bunch. Ghoulies. And we had a kid that looked just like that. at one time when they were a little baby, didn't we?
Ain't you what?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one you're thinking. They grew up to be precious, though. Dust Jacket Studios. Let's see. There it is. I'm just kidding. Our kid didn't look like that. But
all our kids were beautiful.
They were all perfect. I think that's it then.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading the second book in the Whiteacre series by Philippa Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. That's when I was telling you in one of my last videos that I'm hoping it's not so much like the first one, but I'm worried it's going to be.
Yeah. Make sure I know the name of this thing.
I want to finish it just because, I don't know. And then I mean, the covers on them are so pretty, so it kind of makes me mad that it's just full of incest and people like beating each other for pleasure. But,
not mad enough that she stopped reading them though.
Well, honestly, I haven't like read anything in a while, and I guess I'm like so worried about it being that way that it's just sat in my purse, and then I also put the murder at Mimosa Inn in my purse.
There's mine, so. The Mediterranean Caper. Good old Clive, Uncle Clive. I don't know how to say his last name.
Cussler looks right.
Yeah. I could look it up. I call him Uncle Clive. But this is the second book of the Dirk Pitt series. And I've got all of his, I plan on having all of his books and reading all of his books one day. They're still cranking them out too. But that just means, the adventure continues. So
yeah, and we still have like Agathon to come, right?
I don't know. When does that happen?
I can't remember. But y'all anybody out there that's read a ton of Agatha Christie, let me know which one of these I should read first.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Mirror, The Mysterious Mr. Quinn, Murder After Hours, The Clocks, or Giant's Bread. I love this book. It's such an odd size. It's like a little bit shorter and a little bit wider.
Dale. Why don't they still make those? Everybody carries cell phones around, but now books are like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind this one because it's got the art. This is like a coffee table book kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm not capable, I don't think, of reading a gigantic hardback book.
No.
Look, this is a Bible.
But they make books that size.
There's books this big. And that's the most uncomfortable thing in the world. I can read this because that's laying down. That's fine. And I guess maybe they're thinking you're going to be sitting at a desk reading it, Yeah,
but how many people you read before bed, so you're like laying in the bed. This is so easy that I can hold it with one hand.
Yeah. It fits everywhere. Put it in your purse, your backpack, your pocket.
Because we're so attached to our cell phones now. So my daughter texts me, I've got my book in one hand, I can check that.
Yeah, and people are like, well, just read it on your cell phone. And I'm like, that's not fun.
I just don't. I like having books.
I like paper. I like the smell. I like the touch. Yeah. I love the art. I hate the stickers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like having the physical thing, and I want to go back to it maybe sometime and read it again, know. And I think, the artwork, like I'd rather have, like books stuck everywhere than like knickknacks.
Okay. I guess we better cut it off.
Yeah.
This is our longest video ever.
Yeah.
So hopefully we didn't get on your nerves. If you made it this far, thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.